I guess it's safe to say we're pretty much in summer here. We're at the end of June and beginning of July, and days start off nice and cool in the morning and get really hot. I think yesterday it was up to about 93 at one point. We've been spending a goodly bit of time in the water, on the beach, on the boat, in the pool, down at the lake swimming. It works out so that I tend to get up and, well, make a few videos, talk to my YouTube friends, get out and try to do a few things before it gets too hot. I'll be doing that today. I'm going to clean up the garage down there. Things have become kind of a mess, and Todd and Lisa's coming to visit next week, so I thought it'd be nice to get things cleaned up so it doesn't look quite so trashy. My tomatoes are big. This one still has not produced a tomato, although it's got a lot of little, buds. Those are generally what turns into tomatoes. But I trimmed a lot of leaves off of it, not a lot of limbs. I read somewhere that if they have too many leaves and limbs, they'll suck all the power and don't want to make so many tomatoes. But this one still hadn't. I feel like I'm sacrificing its limbs, threatening it to hurry up and produce a tomato. This one's got a couple. Oh, and look. Let's see how dry this looks. Now, I watered this yesterday. It looks all dried out already. It's got a couple of tomatoes. This is 63 Impala or Waylon Wires Angel Trumpet. It's doing pretty good. And if you look way down there, you can see his other plant he sent me. It's down amongst the banana trees. They might get too big and steal the sunlight from it. This tomato plant has one that's getting ripe. This is a different kind of tomato plant from those others. That one's a Better Boy and that one's a red beefsteak. This one over here is called a blue tomato. It doesn't turn red, but it does turn red down the bottom after a little bit. I'm wondering if on these tomatoes, I kept the original pot with the original soil in it, and then I put some horse manure below, and I'm wondering if it's why these dry up so quickly is because that whatever they use for potting soil there doesn't seem to hold water very long. I mixed up a bunch of this here Miracle-Gro. In fact, if you look over there, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of it. And I've been putting Miracle-Gro to them every day. Since this one has its little leaves, I don't know, maybe they're okay. They look a little dried up on the edges, but I'll let the sun work with them a little longer before I put any more stuff in there. The pool is looking exceedingly nice. I haven't turned on the bug sucker yet, but I'll do that here in a minute. And my little Vinny, the pool vacuum, does the trick. We had I guess you'd call it a micro storm come through here the other night. Me and Daisy was just sitting in there, and all of a sudden I heard a racket, and I looked up and things was flying. This banana bush was having a fit, and the awning out front was flopping, and I came out here and it turned all the chairs and tables over, and it had actually knocked that plant down and spilled dirt into the pool. And that plant was just almost ready to come right out of the pot. And I came out here and tied that plant and this other plant to the rail so they wouldn't blow away. And for that, I used the pool blaster, to suck the big dirt out of the pool. And I fished as much out with the little net as I could. And then I put Vinny back in there. Vinny does generally maintain this pool. You can tell when he's good because all his lights come on. And if I've already cleaned the base of it, which is what catches the dirt, so I can just pull his little plug out and bring him over here where the base of this is at. And I know how this fits, so I put this in here just right, like that, see? I just take and flop these two sides down, pick him up, bring him over to the pool. I do this about every morning. You push his little button And I just put him out there, let him go, let him do his thing. He'll dive down to the bottom there and he'll start running around, picking up dirt. He does a good job at that. Then the next thing I do is I just walk over here and I got more than one setting on my pool pump. I can set it to recirculate the water, and when I do that, it has this little bug catcher thing that will catch all the bugs off the top of the pool. See right here, it starts pulling water off top of the pool and pulls the bugs down in there and catches them in a basket. So bugs of all sorts do wind up flying in the pool. I guess in a way this is a pretty good way to eliminate insects from around the house, because so many of them seem to be winding up in the pool. So I use this thing to suck them into the basket where I can throw them away later, and cleans off the surface of the pool for it to be nice when we go to swim in it. I made a video of some fishes that I cleaned the other day. I wasn't sure about whether kids would see it and it would alarm them to see someone cleaning fish. Of course, there's probably all kind of videos of people cleaning fish out there, but I try to be conscious not to put things up that'll, you know, be too spooky for children if they should watch it. That's why I've got all the coolers set out here. I called my neighbors, the ones that are the coon dog champions, across on the other side. Well, I didn't call them. I sent a message and said I was looking for some catfish, because I've been wanting to smoke some catfish. And Todd and Lisa's come in and he talked about wanting to smoke some. So I thought, well, if I get some and put them in the freezer, then if he catches some, we can smoke them fresh out of the water. And if not, at least we'll still have some. So Mark showed up with a pickup truck full of fish. He had fish in there that were probably 4 feet long or so. I got a picture of his boy holding one up, and he had like 4 or 5 of them. And then I told him, I said, you know, them big fish, he's going to give me all of it. And I said, them big fish are way more than I need, and probably way more than I can fit in the freezer. I said, just give me these smaller ones. So he gave me a few smaller ones, and I pulled the table out, set it right here. I've got a water hose right there, and I brought Dad's big fan out and set it here and got it blowing on me. And I cleaned those fish right here, and then I was able just to wash this all off there, you know, and that worked out good. I had this table sitting up in the front of the garage there, and it was piled with stuff, and I just pulled all the stuff off and set it in the floor. So now that's kind of a mess in here, but I think what I'm going to do is get down here before I can already feel the heat starting a little bit. I'll probably bring Dad's fan back in here and just clean up all this mess, get it somewhere else, wherever else is, put it somewhere else. I pulled a big board out of the lake. I could set another shelf over here. Let me show you. I was out on a pontoon boat with Honey Baby, and every so often you'll find lumber in the lake, and we were over at a part of the lake where there wasn't a beach or no path leading up to anybody's house or anything. It was just kind of a deserted little spot on the side of the water, and there was this piece of lumber just kind of washed up on the shore. And I said, Honey Baby, I'm gonna get that. She said, why are you pulling that out of the lake? You know, well, she didn't really say that, but she was, you know, not overly enthusiastic about me taking lumber off of the end of the boat. So I took her home, went back and got it anyway. That's a 2x12, I think. Man, you go buy a 2x12 nowadays down at the Home Depot. Let them show you what that cost. See if I got a tape measure in here. We'll see exactly what I got here. And that little short piece of 4x4 there was with it, which is, you know, any wood. Actually, I got 2 pieces of wood down there that came out of the lake. I figure when I'm picking up wood out of the lake, I'm helping to keep it natural, which is supposed to be down there. Let's see, that's 8 feet long. And I'm guessing this is going to be 12 inches wide. Yep, that's what they call 12 inches nowadays, 11 and a half after they plane it. That's an 8 foot 2x12. That cost you a little money. So anyway, I got that. I could take that up there and put it up as a shelf. If I needed another shelf to put stuff on in there. What else? Oh, I don't know. Times have been rocking along here. Like I say, I've been doing a little fishing. I felt like the fishing videos were boring because I got fishing videos where I'm just fishing, and I'm not catching anything. I'm just throwing the rod in. I don't see how people can watch me throw a rod in very long and not catch fish. Not totally lose interest, but I put up a little short video of me catching the fish, and somebody said, I wish you'd do more fishing videos. And I thought, really? You really want to see more fishing videos? I thought nobody would want to see these. So I put up videos of me cleaning the catfish, and I strung a trout line over at the pond, and hadn't caught any catfish out of there yet, which is surprising me because I figured it'd be loaded with them. But I may not have been using the right bait. I used some cut bait. Later on, I'm gonna go store, get me some chicken livers or something. We'll try that. Another thing I might do, I got this big old fan over here that I pulled out of the Coke building, and I think it'd be cool to run a wire to that, see if that thing runs. I'm willing to bet it probably will, because they made stuff back in the old days that would last almost forever. And I had an old antique floor fan stood up on a stand. Oh, that thing was probably made back in the 20s or 30s, and used that for years. My dad used it and it stopped working, and I was really brokenhearted when it did. But anyway, that was a long time ago. So yeah, I've got some cleanup to do. I don't know if I've talked about my golf cart. Y'all might remember I put some of those ionic batteries in the golf cart. And when I did, I didn't hook up the solar panel that's on top of this. But when I did hook up that solar panel, boy, it extended the range of this thing by a lot. See, this is solar panel right here. It doesn't throw a lot of energy into that, but it throws quite a lot. And if on a sunny day, if I'm out here working, I just leave that. I noticed that it doesn't drain the battery nearly as fast, so that works out real good. And there's my old tractor there. Yeah, all right. I don't know if I got anything else to talk about. I might have just talked about everything already. Run out of things to say. That's my world. I got a bit of cleaning up to do in here, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. And I've been buying a few more fishing things. I bought me a filleting knife the other day when I was cleaning that catfish, and I got a pair of pliers in here that when they got wet they rusted out. So I bought these. These are fishing pliers, and I'm hoping they won't rust. Take them out and put them in. We'll see how that works. Other than that, my tackle box looked pretty good, but this water apparently seeped through the top, and everything that was in there that would rusted. So there's my life jacket. I've been wearing that a lot lately. It's comfortable, and it's got a lot of pockets, so I can put things in the pockets that I don't have to keep up with so much. So that's where I'm at. That's where my world is today. Other than that, I'm kind of dodging the heat. I'll get out here and do a few things in the morning, and then jump back inside here and back in the house under the air conditioner when it gets too toasty. I got enough work to keep me busy here, and I got enough ways to cool off to keep me from dying in the blistering hot heat. So I just say life is pretty darn good. I have been using my little, I bought a new Ryobi weed whacker that has a little lawnmower attachment on it, and I've been using that around back here, and that's helpful. That works out real good too. All right, I just want to do a little catch-up video. That's kind of a long one. Oh, look at Honey Baby's new. She's got a new thing that somebody gave her. That's it's like a little
I don't know what you call it. It's a doohickey. Somebody gave her this new doohickey, but look how cool it looks in the sunlight. That's so cool. That's so cool. And this is Waylon Wire's other plant. The other, what do you call that? Angel trumpet. Yeah, it's doing a good job. Life is good here. Yes, it is. Life is good here. So I'm thinking that some people are going to think that I ain't made any videos that's worth watching lately, because I made all these fishing videos. But just when I was thinking that, somebody said, make more fishing videos. So you never know. You never know what people are going to like. I said, so says I.